So with that, I will request Dr. Desai to please conduct the conversation with Dr. Achyutanand Samanta and Ms. Shipra Mathur on the art of real giving. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Nupur. I'm sorry I've a little sore throat. Dr. Samanta is really a great man. I spent a full day with him. It was on the 14th of November this year, last year, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's birthday. And I've seen for myself the wonderful way in which he runs his various institutions. Nupur did not mention he's unmarried. He has no time to get married. He practically lives under a tree, works under a tree. He has no titles of chairman like some of us have. He's a servant of the public. I'm indeed delighted that I'm a friend of yours, accepted by you. Thank you. I would now like you to give the opening talk, please.
I'm so delighted to be here and humbled to be amongst all the august gathering and luminaries who know more than we actually know. To start with the theme of this panel, the art of real giving. So I think that it is a very thought out idea. How do we frame this idea of real giving? And that also gives a sense that we do want to distinguish between real versus unreal. And maybe we also want to acquaint ourselves with what should be real and what should not be counted as real. And when it comes to giving, what better than sitting amongst two people as panelists who have done great works in their own ways. And just to set the tone of how do we deliberate around this theme at all, that art of real giving. And when I started thinking about it, the first thought that came to me that how much I am able to give to the society, what I possess, and how much attached I am when I'm giving back, and how much sense of detachment do I possess when I actually give away my possessions. The second thought that came to my mind that by virtue of my work in profession, I keep interacting with a lot of great people who have been doing great works. And as Nupur also mentioned about media, I belong to media. And this remains a fact that those who are doing real work, real great work, they prefer to remain in obscurity. They prefer to remain anonymous, and they hardly make headlines. And the second important thing is, which led me to think about this idea of real giving, that what should be counted as those who are making real good money, have that inner desire to give away all their possessions in a beautiful manner, and also want the world to recognize this fact that they are giving back to the society. Or one class who want to give, have that innate desire to give back to the society, but do not want to come in front of the world and remain as silent as they have been. I do not know what is real. So one thing, very beautiful quotation that I read about giving, that meaning of life is to find your gifts. Meaning of life is to find your gifts. And purpose of life is to give away those gifts. So I think I should bring that whole conversation now to panelists who know more than certainly I have known, because you have been in the industry for past so many years now, Mr. Desai. This is a very interesting discussion, that what should be real and what kind of a journey should we lead. And since the core topic of this entire conference is how to bring in that Vedic wisdom into businesses, Because recently I've been reading the newspaper, so many big organizations, they're making headlines on the front pages. They have given iPhones, they have given Mercedes, and they have given flats to their employees and whatnot. Not to demean that, not to undermine their maybe feelings towards their employees. And then there are people who are doing immense work in great ways. So, what do you think that how Vedic wisdom should drive this conscience towards giving?
Thank you very much, Dr. Mathur. I remember one wonderful shlok from the Upanishad. It says, it's the very first shlok, Ishavasya sarvam, yat kinchat jagatyam jagat, tena tyaktena bunjita, magradha kassasvidhanam. Everything belongs to Isha, the short for Ishvara or Parameshvara, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we are eternally His servants, or better still, servants. And we come with nothing, we go with nothing. So the reality is that the ownership is actually belonging to Lord Krishna or God. And we are all eternally His children, parts and parcel. So if we share with everyone, then the Father is happy. The children are happy. And actually everyone is striving for happiness. So one of the best ways is to give at least 50%. Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu that if 50% of your wealth you give away, 25% keep for yourself, for your old age, and 25% for your relatives. I just want to deviate a little bit. A good friend of mine, unfortunately, is unable to come today. He was to come, but he's held up. Anil Agarwal, who's the chairman of Sterlite. So he started his career at the age of 19 with me. And I think now he must be past 55. And over the years, I've been telling him the same thing. That what are you going to do with all this wealth? One day you'll be in a 6x3 and that's it. Where are you going to go? So let's study that first. And so he got that attitude of giving, real giving. And he connected with Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, who also have decided to do a major distribution. It's also intelligent to do this because my solicitor told me that there's a good chance of the law changing in the country and we may get back the estate duty. So instead of all your money going, my father, I got a shock when my father suddenly died of a massive heart attack, that too in Jakarta. And at that time, 85% was the estate duty. 85% of all the family wealth would have gone, disappeared. And then we were left with 15%, and we didn't even have the liquidity to pay for that 85%. So I think it's wiser to give it to those who deserve it more than government officials. Excuse me, I say, I hope there are no government officials here who feel bad. But the fact of the matter is that it is essential that those who don't have should be given something, at least so that their education, livelihood is completed. I have seen in what Dr. Samanta has done, and what Radhanath Maharaj has started here. We happen to be Lady Northcote Hindu Orphanage in Chopati, and then we were told by the local chief of police as well as the social workers there that better to move out the children to a better environment. And this is how this place started. Radhanath Maharaj was kind enough to take the lead and we started this place. And then now it's grown. It's now about 75 acres and our target is, of course, to reach 108 acres as soon as possible. That's the material side. The physical side. Now, the spiritual side is what interests me. That Lord Krishna says that there is an account in Bhagavad Gita. Material accounts remain here. We don't know who will get what. But it's your spiritual account which continues with you. We are soul and not the body. So that is the reality as I see it. What do you think, Dr. Samanta? Dr. Achyuta? आपका क्या views है?
The point I think Mr. Desai is trying to raise is that our whole commitment towards the society should be driven by the spiritual drive that we all feel within. So, the question arises, I mean, when we plan to contribute, or to give back to the society, is there a sense of attaining something out of it, the kind of whatever, in terms of blessings, in terms of success, in terms of, the gratitude, or you feel humble, whichever way. I mean, what is the drive, that you feel that you must give back to the society after a while when you really attain something? Or is there also a way when you don't have really, you have nothing in your life, and that is also, you can feel that drive to give back?
No, ma'am. Good morning, everybody present here. Every distinguished personality from the all sector present here, and particularly His Holiness Swamiji Maharaji, Radhanath Swamiji Maharaji, and also Dr. Narendra Desai ji, Madam Shipra Mathur, also my friend Vijay Shah, who has brought me before all of you. So I am very much honored and happy to be in the midst of galaxy of inter-elite people. I fully agree with all the points raised by Desai ji, and also whatever you have been telling. We all know the points because everybody knows every points. It is not any good thing that I should teach something to you, he should teach something to you. But it is on our part to see how much we can practice. Because everybody knows everything in this world, particularly in the age of computer, internet, website. Nobody, if someone is thinking that he is teaching something, I think he is the little bit big fool in this age. So nothing teaching. We are sitting here just to motivate you that how to practice it. Because for the last 67 years of independence, only we have been preaching. Practicing just is opposite. But in our case, that preaching and practicing should be simultaneously, then society will be benefited. And you see, I fully agree with Desai ji. In Odia, I used to tell whatever Desai ji told, just Sanskrit sloka. As I was born in very poor family, my mother was to teach us from the childhood of age 5. There is a proverb in Odia, our Misraji and Vijayasaji and Gorangaji can understand. Krishna ka, Lord Krishna ka. Kete kete dukha न पड़िला कृष्ण थिबारु किछि जणा न गला. That how much difficulty has not come, but because of Lord Krishna blessings, nothing has been touched. Or all those difficulties, everything we have overcome like anything. I am the strong believer of these points, and I have started writing one book on this point. And another one point, whatever Dr. Desai told, who is giving to whom? We are just the medium. I used to tell everybody, we are just the medium. Suppose he is passing something, one glass of water to me, she is the just medium. If she thinks she gives me the water and it takes credit, then again it is her foolishness. She should think, I am just the medium to pass on one thing to others, even out of giving or whatever you are giving, whatever you are donating, whatever you are. But people don't think so easily. No, we are giving. We should take the credits. So anyhow, these are some points. And before more questions Shipra ma'am will ask me, it's my pleasure. Uh, Let us see the philosophy behind this art of giving, for which they have all asked me and put the topic. Because art of giving, I have given the birth in 2013 May 17. What is the art of giving? Because art of giving is a very simple thing. It is not any conversion process or anything. It is a very simple thing. And art of giving does not mean just to give wealth, money to someone. It should be in any form, in any phase of life. Even someone is coming to your door, if you are offering a glass of water, that glass of water also cools down his entire anger and anything else. So this art of giving, how conceptualized, though it is definitely related to me because I have given the birth, so it has come from my mind. Now it is accepted very widely across the globe. Wherever I go, I used to launch it. I have already launched in more than 10 to 15 countries, more than 20 places in India, and it is available in YouTube and everywhere. And this art of giving has become very popular among the, because why it has become very popular? The person who is launching the art of giving, how the same person is practicing the art of giving since the age of 5, and the same person is giving the credit for his entire achievement till today to the quality of art of giving. So, let us see this Madam Art of Giving video clippings for 4 to 5 minutes. Then many questions will be raised from the audience and from you. Then it will be very easy to have the conversation. Thank you very much once again.
One day in 1969, very early in the morning, at about 5 a.m., a small boy about 4 years old could not understand why all of a sudden members in the family burst into a loud wail and looked crestfallen. Not knowing what to do and what not to do, the child looked inquiringly at the grief stricken faces. Soon he came to realize that his father had died, though the word death was beyond his understanding. His father had died in a tragic train accident, leaving 7 siblings and the widowed wife behind. The youngest sibling was about a month old and the eldest 17 years. The deceased father was a petty worker in an industry and had left no savings for the 8-member family to survive on. All the siblings, including the small boy, had to grow up in the midst of severe poverty in a very remote village of Orissa in India. The boy did odd menial jobs here and there voluntarily and helped his widowed mother. The early childhood and fate forced the boy to fend for himself and was thus self-made right from the age of about 5 years. He gave his mother the solace by wiping her tears, and he gave his little sister the comfort of his lap to sleep on. By about 7 years of age, the boy was already sharing his hard-earned money from his work with the classmates. He kept 1 rupee out of his wage earned for the day just to give tea and snacks to his 4 friends at a tea shop near the school where they studied. He also helped the village folks and friends by giving his time and energy to fetch groceries and provisions from the nearby market every now and then. The boy grew up to be a youth in due course. One day, while he was doing his master's program in Utkal University, Bhubaneswar, he gave away the 300 rupees given to him by his eldest brother for joining the college picnic to one of his friends who had no money, and helped the friend to join the picnic while he himself stayed away from it. After completion of his master's degree in chemistry, this young man landed himself in a teaching job in a local college. Besides the job, he did private tutoring, and with the income, he supported his needy friends and his poor family members, ignoring his own comforts. This young man soon thought of and ventured to set up two institutions with only 5,000 rupees in a rented building in 1992-93. Today, while one of these institutions has become the most promising university of the country with 25,000 students from across the globe, the other institution has become the beauty of the world, which nurtures and gives a decent life to 20,000 poor indigenous children of the country, providing free education from kindergarten to post-graduation and professional education with fully free residential and boarding facility. The small institute that started with only $100 in 1992 has been instrumental in giving smiles directly and indirectly to 1 million people by 2013 and looks forward to giving smiles to 10 million people by 2020. He has also given back to his remote village, turning it into a model village having all amenities of a city. He has also greatly contributed towards enriching art, culture, films, literature, spiritualism, and many other fields. He has been giving financial assistance every month to around 40 poverty-stricken school friends and has given employment to another 40 of his friends in his two institutions. The same person, after creating so much for the society and people, and after achieving so much, lives the simplest of the simple life in a two-room rented house without any personal property and has chosen to remain a bachelor. His only hobby is to bring smiles to faces of thousands of poor children, irrespective of caste, creed, and religion. This boy of yesteryears, who has now grown big in stature, gives credit for all his accomplishments in life to the art of giving, which he had silently learned since his childhood. It has been the ethos of his life. He passionately believes in the portent of the term, the art of giving, which ultimately brings peace in the minds of people in the society. He has institutionalized the concept since 17th May 2013. He is none other than Achyuta Samanta, the visionary social entrepreneur, social worker, educationist, and the founder of KIIT and KISS, the KISS Foundation India, and the KISS Foundation UK.
His life has been an inspiration in itself. What else we can expect? One thought that is coming after knowing your story, very closely, and with all the audience must be really feeling inspired by the kind of philosophy that you have been following. I read a story long ago about Jamshedji having interaction with Vivekananda, wherein Vivekananda inspired him. They were together going to Germany, in some ship. Well, it was just by chance that they got to meet on the ship. And then Vivekananda asked that what is the purpose going to Germany? And then he expressed that it is the business idea that he's trying to take the soil of this land to check whether there is iron ore in that soil, so that he wants to set up industry. And Vivekananda told him that, do you think that people will tell you the truth about the wealth that you possess? So why don't you rather set up an institution within your own country and inspire the young generation to help you in the kind of researches of quality and produce these kind of things, within the country. And hence, Indian Institute of Science came into being. So this was a conversation between an industrialist and a spiritual leader. So my question to both of you is that how much it matters to have this kind of an interaction where the spiritual knowledge gets passed on to the people who have really achieved big wealth, and how to motivate them to utilize or to contribute that wealth to to building foundations, some kind of great institutions. Here, how should we build that spiral of that interaction to build that consciousness?
No, ma'am, you are very right in your approach. There is no doubt in it. That was a great theme that Vivekananda and also let Tata everything and Indian Institute of Science came. Because you see, whatever you are asking, all these great people, or particularly the big people, wealthy people, can be motivated to do any good things through spiritualism only. If the spiritualism will work in their mind, in their heart, in their anything else, then many good things automatically will happen. And whatever good things have happened, major share definitely would have been the impact of spiritualism, whatever I have learned till today. And spiritualism is the best way to bring good things to the society or in the hearts of any good, any big persons, great persons, whatever things, that there is no doubt in it. And I hope that Maharajji should try more to bring the spiritualism among the all wealthy people in Bombay. Yeah, I should not be misunderstood. In our society, it is very difficult to give something to needy people. We can give many things wherever or whenever it is not required. As Dr. Desai has cited the name, I should not tell, but when he has already cited Anil Agrawalaji, I am giving his example. Just in the month of November, he visited our campus. First time. Naturally, the way Maharajji was so pleased to bring me up to this position after his visit, or Dr. Desai or Vijay Sahib, anybody. Anil Agrawalaji, because all big people are used to visit because the main attraction is KIIT, home for 22,500 poor indigenous children in one place. It is one of the astonished of the entire world and the biggest one in the entire world, how one individual is managing. So Anil Agrawalaji also came in the month of November. So from his comments, you can easily understand the things. So he visited and yeah, everybody praised. He praised publicly in the auditorium. Then he told Dr. Samanta, you see, you are also in your work great. I am also in my work great. Lot of people love you. Lot of people love me. But Dr. Samanta, believe me, the people, those who love me, not love me superficially, only love me. The people, those who love you, they really love you. Then, no, I immediately jumped into within 1 second. Well, sir, answer is very simple. What is the answer? Dr. Samanta tell me. Well, sir, there are two ways of life. There are two ways in the life. What are the two ways? Well, sir, someone is running after money. Someone is running after name and fame. You are in the first category. I am in the second category. Oh, Dr. Samanta, you are telling so bluntly. Oh, you are so bluntly. What? Well, sir, I am wrong? No, no, no. Well, sir, you are the second richest person in London. I hope I am not so calculative among the top 10 in India. Where you are, I am a small beggar. No, 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 Dr. Samanta, you don't know. The people love you heartily, but people don't love me heartily. Well, sir, this is very simple theory. So it is up to us how to take our life in which way. God has helped you to achieve something. You have achieved something. If your achievement in anything else, in any form, it is not a question of only wealth or if will be conversion to the society, to some people, then only you will be the happiest person. I am the happiest person in my life.
Mr. Desai, I think Now this taking cue from what he has said about the corporate who are trying to build on something, and they are also realizing what they have missed on their journey. So my question is, because I've been interacting with a lot of people, in past few months, who have been building this dialogue, suddenly around whether we should be contributing, because CSR is also one of the things that has recently come up, that you must contribute, corporate must contribute in this fashion also. But there has been traditional ever since in our country that people want to contribute in whether it's through endowment, scholarships, or building institutions, or philanthropy, whichever way they have been contributing. So there has been debate around the relation, contributing for the sake of relationship, to make one, from srishti to samashti, from one to many, you connect on the basis of feelings, that you feel that this is the real needy and you contribute. And there is another model that has been coming up in a very strong way, that you have to build institutions, there has to be measurement impact, there has to be, a very strict, rigid indicators that who to give and who not to give. So how the corporate is, taking this entire dialogue around, because, that one part is, from heart, that what Mr. Samant is saying, it comes from heart. It comes out of spirituality. When you make one with the needy, real needy, you make empathy, you build empathy. And there is one thought that, you have to have measurement, that how much change you have been able to, see out of that contribution. So the real worth of that investment again.
Hello. There are two things which you've touched on. The first is the spirituality of it. Of course, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who authored the Bhagavad Gita as it is, in his chapters on charity, Lord Krishna says that there are three ways of giving charity. The mode of tamas, rajas, and sattva. So, the thing is, everything is clear, the documents are there, as Dr. Samant mentioned. But putting it in practice is very difficult. If the objective is to get something in lieu of giving, then it becomes a business. In fact, our Shastra says that the left hand should not know when the right hand is giving. The right hand is giving, the left hand should not know. It's so close. So, actually speaking, it's a state of mind, and the mind survives on subtle, the mind is subtle, so it survives on subtle food and inputs. The human body, we are not body, we are soul, but the human body survives on solid foods or liquid foods. So the mind is a cause. I mean, we have no enemies and we have no friends, actually. Your mind is your greatest enemy and the mind is the greatest friend. So the food which we feed is love, happiness, or the opposite, which is enmity or distress. So Radhanath Maharaj gave a beautiful class the other day that he's not here now, he's just stepped out. He gave a beautiful class in which he said that everyone is striving for love, as Dr. Samanta and Anil Agarwal talked. Some find it, some don't get it. They don't get it because their mind is not pure. The purity of the mind is important. Dr. Samanta has a purer mind, I guess. You agree? And I agree too. Because I've seen how the children love him in his institution. These children were actually, as he rightly said, they're from the lowest of the lowest human race. They don't know how to eat, they don't know how to drink, they don't know how to evacuate, dress, nothing. They're next to animals. Am I correct? I don't mean to mean little anyone, but in Orissa and here also we have some. In Africa, in South America, I've seen. In Australia, I've seen in the Aborigines. So they are at a very, very low stage, just above the animal stage. So what happens is that we have to give in a directed education in a nice way. So if we educate a person, I think there's a Chinese saying, give a man a fish, he will be fed for one day. If you give a man education, it's not only for his lifetime, but also for his future generations. So the first thing I think is we should educate. And that's what Dr. Samanta and I am doing. We also run many schools and colleges. And incidentally, one of the most important thing I should say is my great father, who was a member of parliament, he made education free for girls from kindergarten to postgraduate in our university and schools. No girl should be left uneducated. Because they're the future mothers. They're the ones who teach the children. So the government of India has not yet woken up to this. But that is a very, very important thing. That in India, we must have free education for ladies, for girls. That's when it's not the backward class, forward class. Because even now, after 67 years, many people in the so-called quote-unquote backward class have today become quite forward, quite rich. But still we keep on giving them. But what about these tribal children? They need more. And our own girls need more. So I think gender-wise, men like Dr. Samant has come up from scratch. But girls, they're married off at a young age. They're not taken care of, not educated. And that really is pathetic. So this is where I think our future lies, in creating a set of mothers, maybe 50 million mothers, because half the population, who can really get the next generation up. What do you think? Dr. Samant?
Whatever Dr. Desai ji has told, I have been practicing the same thing since my childhood. Not only we promote girls' education like anything, because you know, in our society, there are two children, one is boy, one is girl. Both are poor. If the boy is poor and illiterate, minimum he can manage by being a daily laborer, earning 300 rupees per month. If the girl is poor, again illiterate, then she will be just like worse than a bonded labor for entire life. So that's why in KIIS, particularly the tribals, 60% belongs to girls. First priority, the girls' education. And we know in our society the wretched condition of the ladies, those who are illiterate, again divorced or the widow. Every day minimum I must be meeting 20, 30 this type of distressed ladies for job and everything. If they are illiterate, little bit literate, not nowadays everybody little. And not only this giving education, it is my conviction and experiment. The more we respect ladies in the house, in the society, in the office, anywhere, more prosperity you will have. You believe me. There are many reasons for our prosperity. People are asking what is the reasons. There are many reasons. One of the reasons, we respect girls, ladies like anything. So we should also learn to respect ladies not only starting from the house. You will see the change in your house or family, change in the office, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, सोसाइटी, सब जगह में जहां पर जितना सम्मान आप लोग देंगे लेडीज को, आपका उतना सम्मान आपको ही मिलेगा. मुझे इतना सम्मान मिल रहा है बिकॉज मैं पहले स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम माय मदर सिस्टर लेडीज को ही सम्मान देते आता हूं अभी तक. इसलिए मुझे सारा दुनिया में आदमी प्यार करते हैं, सम्मान देते हैं. लेडीज को सम्मान देना सीखना चाहिए.
Great. Yeah.
In Lord Krishna's cabinet, finance minister is a lady. Her name is Lakshmi. Education minister is Saraswati. She's a lady. The home minister in charge of military, the police, is a lady, Durga. We have a series of top ladies in Lord Krishna's cabinet.
Not only sir that, we always start talking Sita Ram. Nobody speaks Ram Sita. Lakshmi Narayan. नारायण लक्ष्मी नो भी कोई नहीं बोलते हैं. राधा कृष्णा नो भी बोलते कृष्णा राधा. वी ऑलवेज स्टार्ट चैंटिंग राधा कृष्णा सीताराम लक्ष्मी नारायण. We should learn that starting from the mythology, we are giving respect to the ladies first.
And it's ladies last also. So we are coming to the end of this session with this note. इस एक शेर मुझे अक्सर याद आते हैं इन मौकों पर whenever I happen to listen to these inspiring thoughts. कि सबकी नज़रों में हो साकी ये ज़रूरी है मगर साकी means almighty. सबकी नज़रों में हो साकी ये ज़रूरी है मगर सब पे साकी की नज़र हो ये ज़रूरी तो नहीं. So I hope that we all keep our hearts and our minds cause that we all stand for and our souls all dedicated to our nation and to our nation building. Thank you, our panelists, esteemed panelists, to be sparing.